Hey everyone, it's P4L. Thanks for coming and joining another live stream. We're gonna do a live stream of Ocular Max's Volatus. And again, sorry for the lack of high definition. YouTube's app is pretty garbage, and I can't do anything about the lighting either. So no zoom, all that stuff. Quick disclaimer, this is a pre-production sample. This is what they had at TFCon DC a few months ago, and they allowed me to go ahead and show a full review of this guy, or preview of this guy. But just understand this is a preview. All the colors and even some of the parts probably aren't going to be representative of the full retail, but I wanted to show this off anyway, and they wanted to share this with you. So quick 360 in the alt mode. You can see very space shuttle-y. I don't know how accurate any of these are to like an actual space shuttle, but I think it looks quite good. The brown and purple, very much like as you expect from Blastoff. Hey Antoine, how's it going? Good to see you again. Hey Jake, how's it going? Really, so the details and all this are probably going to change, especially the paints. You know, some of the paints are kind of off from the plastic right now, but I think by and large it looks very clean, right? They even have a little filler piece here that I didn't notice upon first viewing. But hey Richard, how's it going? Hey Rugelhide. Well, anyway, there's a filler piece here that fills in this gap that I didn't realize at first, but somebody pointed out to me that looks kind of weird with those gaps there, but they actually have a filler piece, so they thought of that. He does have wheels here. Not very accurate, I would say, to the space shuttle, but it's nice that they do have that. You can fold these up and out of the way. How's it going, Intangible Cog? I don't have a lot of figures right now that are good for comparison. I'll do a better job in my full review when I get that. Can you shout out to Brian Duenas for his birthday? Happy birthday. Hey, I still function. Love to see you. Always like seeing you. So here he is with Streak. He's about almost 2 streaks long, but still quite small. Oh, this filler piece fell out somewhere. Oh, here we go. So like I said, some of this stuff obviously is not fully tuned, but looks pretty good here. In my full review, I'll probably do a comparison with their Skylinks as well as maybe a Seeker. But for now, this is all I'm really going to show off. Who else do I even have? The only other person that I have is MP10. Hey Ernie, how's it going? But obviously not a very good comparison. So apologize in advance, but really want to try to get through this pretty darn quickly and answer some questions. But yeah, this is really it for... he doesn't come with a second head. Rugelhide, I don't really know about the details. I don't even know if the paint details are. So I think maybe he has the same head, but maybe different paint. So if I recall correctly, the animation model did a mistake on painting his face or something like that on the toy, and so that came to be kind of what is it, canon, but it just doesn't make sense that his forehead would be painted the eye color. But anyway, yeah, Intangible, I'll probably do that in my full review. The only other thing I will say is it's hard to see here, but you can open the bay up like this, and his weapon actually does store in here. So very cool that they had storage here. It folds up like so, and it just pegs in down here. Hey Razor Bear. Hey, what's going on, PAK? King of live streams. I love doing the live streams. If I could just do live streams and they look, and I could do them in full HD from my iPhone, that would be all I would do. I would prefer to do that as opposed to any kind of editing. But so yeah, that's really it for shuttle mode. I think it's very cool. I think it looks nice. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to go into combined mode, just because it's really easy to get into combined mode from here, and then we'll go ahead and get into robot mode last, because I think that's the one most people are going to be interested in, and it just makes sense. In my full review, I'll probably go from whatever is unboxed to the other mode to combined mode last. But all right, so let's go ahead and get started. Combined mode's pretty easy from here. we're going to go ahead and come behind here. These pieces on the side are kind of tabbed in. You want to swing those around and they tab into the side here. Same thing on this side. Fold this in like so. And they just kind of sit up like that. Let's see. The wings, they're going to fold around, and these fillers are going to, it's called pack. Okay, cool. Sorry, I didn't know if you go, the whole, periods between them, the acronyms make me think I should say them as letters. So, okay, let's see. Where was I? Okay, so let's go ahead and deal with the legs. We can just go ahead and split the whole legs kind of apart. We're going to untab these side pieces here. All right, we're going to flip these pieces up and around. You can keep this gun stored in combined mode. I don't know if that's where they actually want you to store it in combined mode, but let's just take it out for now. All right, so now we just have to deal with each of the arms. So we're just going to flip this down, and then there's a panel here with the thruster. The thruster and the brown piece in the center actually both collapse inward. The fist will rock out like this, and this thruster will actually open up, and on this double hinge, it will flip in like so. And I believe I have to get this like that to cover up the gap. The other side here is going to be filled in with the tailpiece. The tailpiece, or the vertical stabilizer, whatever that thing is called, that comes up and fills in the forearm. The inside, I guess it just fills in the space because you're not going to see that anyway. The fist, you want to make sure to get the thumb out. I always forget to get the thumb out before you combine it. So let's just get the thumb out now. And the one other piece that was really interesting about this transformation that it took me a while to figure out because I didn't have any instructions is that there's actually a hinge piece in here. So what you do is kind of snap this here, flip this up, and this folds down and in. And then you fold out this fake wheel kind of thing. And then you go ahead and snap it back closed. There we go. So this is, clearly the tolerances need to be a little bit better. It sounds a little snappy there. Sorry if I'm missing some questions. Hey Hugo, how's it going? Hey Z-Farsh, how's it going? I've been doing well. Hope you're doing well as well. So with that, you just go ahead and fold this piece down. You can see there's a little slot there. You just tab that in and then fold this back, and that arm is done. So that's all you really have to do for combined mode. Same thing on this side. We're going to fold this up, get this panel open. This will flip open like so. And then behind here, again, we're going to lift up the thruster. We're going to collapse both the thruster and this brown part here. All right. Get the fist out like so. This flipped in like so. Like that. And then this will all close up here. This piece will fold in on itself and tuck in. Oh, missed the tab. Oh, that should tab in. There we go. Okay. This panel that was on the back of the shuttle will tab in as well. And then lastly, like I said, you do have to do the interesting hinge here. So you gotta snap it, open it up. The one thing that's a little tough to get out are these little gray pieces. That time wasn't so bad. So fold this in, fold this down, close this up, snap that back into place. And then this will tab in. And then you just combine the both halves together. I think this tab came undone. Come on. All right, and then let's see, we rotate, okay. Over here, this is one place that I'm not sure if you're supposed to keep this. So this actually has a piece that can fold in on itself. I don't know if you need to do that here, but you can push down. We're just going to ignore that for now because it makes it look like a more full arm here. You just pull down the combiner port and you heard that snap. It locks into place way better than Impetus is. But then you rotate at the elbow, and here we have him in arm mode. looking arm mode. This will slot in there. He does have, again, a series of joints that will allow you to get a decent amount of bend. So he has bend here. So he gets 90 degrees here. And then if you flip up the hip skirts, you can make use of his hips to get even further. That should come up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so you can get further. This hip skirt still will cause some interference, but you can make use of that a bit more. So I'm trying to circle back to see if I'm missing any. We're not going to see it combined with Onslaught today. We'll do that in the full review. I really just want to try to get through this as quick as possible. So there we go. Like I said, this piece can actually fold in some more. I don't know why you need. I think you really need it for robot mode. So we're not going to really mess with that now. But these two halves are supposed to sit a little bit more flush. I don't know why it's not doing it right now. So yeah, a pretty nice arm mode. Basically the same kind of articulation that we've talked about with the hands before. So he has a thumb hinge there, a ball joint. Not a ball joint. Yeah, it is a ball joint. A ball joint here. 2 pin joints there. So he actually has 3 segments in the thumb. Each of his fingers are individually articulated with one at the base, one here, and then one at the fingertip. And then the wrist itself, again, using that really ingenious combination of 2 halves. So, well, he can't do a complete 360 around. He can go this far inward and this far outward. So mostly going inward, but I think that's more than sufficient, to be perfectly honest. I guess it would be nice if he could get out a little bit more. And I think you can do that if you like swap the parts, but I think this is good enough for a combined mode. Is Deluxe in the house? Hey, will you do a comparison with some toilet paper for scale? No, I will not. No, I will not. So again, if you wanted to store this, I believe you can store this in the same spot, which is right in here. Just be careful if you were to do that, because if you use the lower knee joint incorrectly, you can kind of force it out and you might be able to break that peg. So just a warning there. I don't really know where they want you to store this in actual combined mode. I know for the other figures, they had specific orientations for this where they should go. I just know that that is where they want to store it in shuttle mode, because I was able to figure that out. So yeah, with that, we're going to go ahead and jump straight into robot mode transformation, and then we'll do a bunch of comparisons there, answer a couple of questions, and I'm going to try to keep this one a little bit short today. Not a full hour this time, but I will be back with a full review in the future. Yeah, Deluxe, I know. I know you're joking. All right, so let's see. So let's go ahead and just deal with the lower body first. The lower body is pretty easy. We'll flip up these flaps where those tabs are to loosen the hips and split the legs in half. It's just way easier to deal with them in half. Fold the thumb in, curl the fingers up on each of the hands. All right, so the first thing we'll do is let's go ahead and untab this section back here. And then we can go ahead and open up the brown thrusters. All right, and then we're basically going to just swap the fist and the thrusters. So the thrusters, the purple thrusters will come out. These are going to actually make up his toes, which I believe is accurate. So you're going to just push in the fist. There is a set of tabs here where it's supposed to like kind of sit in correctly. There we go. Fold this up to be the bottom of the foot. You can actually pull out the thruster a little bit more if you'd like, if you wanted to show a little bit here, but I'm just going to keep it like that. And then this piece, again, will kind of sit in that space, but it won't actually sit inside. So it does hang out on the inside of the leg, since that space is now completely occupied by the fist. All right. Before. It's just kind of hard to see because this is on like a ball joint too. I think, or set a couple of hinges. It makes it hard to just tab in. I would have liked it if there was some kind of tabbing mechanism here, but I'm guessing they'll probably maybe add one because there is like a tab here. It'd be nice if you could just tab that right into here and keep that from moving around. So that's one leg. Same thing on the other side. Like I said, it's pretty easy. So we're gonna go flip this open. Get this out of the way for now. Open this up. Get this out. And then tuck in the fist. You may want to hold any questions that you have for a little bit later because I'm not really looking at the stream as I'm trying to transform. As you might imagine, that'd be very hard for me to keep track of everything. Close this up. Get this around. And then, again, get this tabbed in. So those are both of the legs. Okay. Oh, I could probably tighten this up with a screwdriver if I had one, but I don't have one easily accessible. For the hips, as we did with Vortex, you want to pull this out? Whirlwind? Vortex. I'm getting these third-party names out mixed up. So you want to get these out on these double hinges, and then you can flip in these inner parts to separate the skirt. Now on the back here, man, this is loose. Hold on, let me see if I have a screwdriver. I should have one somewhere. I don't know if this will work. Yeah, there we go. So, coming to the upper body, we'll go ahead and flip up the combiner port. We're just going to untab this section for now. The easiest way to get through all this is kind of just pull down on the front of the nose cone, if I'm remembering correctly. And this should pull out this back piece. It's not working. There we go. Like pull down like this, and then pull down. This should get the back piece come out. This is where the fake or faux fin is, to be a little bit more cartoon accurate on the backpack. So bring this down and then split this, and it's going to open up like so. Up here, you're going to flip the chest around, flip this little piece down, and this will go straight down here. There is a tab here that locks it into place. Sorry about the lighting again. That's just how it is with YouTube. Going to rotate the shoulders. Get them down like so. Rotate the bicep, and then it has a double jointed elbow to extend that. And then you need to rotate at this elbow joint. Lastly, we're going to flip open the panel here. Get this around, flip around the nose cone so it's flat, and that tabs in, and then you got one arm done. Same thing on the other side. Extend it, rotate it, open up the nose cone, rotate it around, slide it back up so that tabs in. So those are arms. You can see the head. All right, and then back here, this piece will fold in, and then this piece, I'm not really sure on these flaps how exactly they're supposed to go. I don't know if they're supposed to just go straight like this. I kind of like them angled, tilted in like that, and then you can fold this up again to get a little bit more of a cohesive kind of curve here. You do have a gap back here though. And that's it. That's his transformation into robot mode. The robot mode, I think, is probably honestly the weakest of the three modes, which is pretty rare to say that. I only say that just because I think the arms are a little bit weird looking, like the proportions and all this stuff, because it's very flat here, obviously. And then he has the wheel, his front wheel for his shuttle mode up front as well. But not to say it's a bad alt mode. I just think it's the weak, bad robot mode. I just think it's the weakest of the three modes that we have here. But given, again, that it's an all-in-one combiner, I think they've done a phenomenal job again. He just looks quite good, pretty accurate. Again, right now it has the more, you know, realistic, I don't know, more accurate blue eyes. I think they might be doing it with the forehead shape here, blue. I'm not sure. Shark, this is a test shot. Yeah, the G1 toy is kind of weird too. I mean, they were all kind of weird. The G1 toys were all kind of, come on, let's be honest, they're all kind of bunk. So let's do a quick 360 just so you guys can see him from all sides. I think he looks quite clean. Again, it's nice that they added this faux back fin. I don't know how necessary it is, and I guess if you don't like it, you can just tuck it away and just have a clean back. I think you should be able to do that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think you can. I just need to clear some of this stuff out the way. Come on. Oh, maybe not. No, there we go. Oh, I see. You can't really do that because then you can't fold these pieces in. No? Oh, no, you can. All right. So if you don't want the back fin for some reason, you can get rid of it. But I like the effort they put into it, so we're going to show it. Like so. All right. Continuing with the 360. He does have pretty hefty calves, as you can see. And the inside of his leg could be a little bit cleaner. T-Man says the robot modes they had in the cartoon where to pull off. I don't know what that meant. I think T-Man's notorious for having typos, so that's probably just him. The gun, sorry, I forgot the gun. The gun, the barrel folds down, and then the handle folds around, and it has like the backwards tab as opposed to the into the hand, into the palm. This really kind of goes into, I don't know, the heel of the, is that what they call it really? The heel of the hand, heel of the palm, heel of the whatever. So I don't know what other accessories you'll have. Really, this is all I really know about this figure. Let's see, is there, oh, articulation wise. So his head is on a ball joint. So he can go all the way around, bobble around all he wants. He has swivel here, swivel there, bicep swivel. We showed that kind of forearm swivel. He does have double jointed elbows, but he does have a lot of molding going on. So he only gets about an extra 45 degrees, or I guess 135 degrees total. He does have a wrist swivel. Oh, sorry. Wrist swivel. His thumb is on a ball joint that swivels around. I think all of his fingers are individually molded, but they're all only one joint, one pin at the base of the hand. All right, let's see here. He does have a waist swivel. It can go 360 both directions. And then he does have an ab crunch, which is pretty substantial. Oh, thanks. Who is that just donated? Oh, Kato's Collection. Thanks for donating. You know, I get that every once in a while. I think I'm only like you're the third person that's ever done that. I super appreciate it. I really don't need you guys to donate. I mean, it is a really nice gesture. If you guys want to do that, go ahead, but don't feel the need to ever have to do that. Let's hip skirts come out to the side, can come up, come back. Antoine, you didn't see it, but Kato's Collection, he sent me $5, so that's what I was commenting on. Again, thank you very much for that. So the hips are kind of interesting. I kind of wish you could lock this in, maybe with like a tab here to lock this in for robot mode, but it does give you some extra, I guess, weird kind of articulation. He does have a thigh swivel. You can go all the way around. He has double jointed knees, but again, he has big calves, so you don't really get more than 90 degrees even with those double jointed knees. The downside of this figure, just because of the way that's all molded, is he doesn't have any ankle tilt from what I can tell. I mean, I guess you could do that weird joint, that snap joint that I told you about before, which was that, ow, that hurts so bad. Ow. That hurt really bad. All right, the things I do for you guys. I guess you can count that as articulation if you want to push it, but I can't really give that to them. but I guess he does have toe articulation that can go down. Doesn't really go up. He doesn't have any heel articulation really, unless you want to count this joint here. All right, let's see. Did I miss anything as far as articulation? I don't think so. And again, I actually hope that they mold in like a little slot here. It almost looks like they have one, or at least plan for one there, that could slot in right here so that this doesn't move around as much. Like that would be ideal. All right, so I'm done blabbing. Right now is the opportunity for you guys to ask questions, and I'm going to go ahead and bring out some comparisons while you guys ask questions. All right, so the ones that make sense here is Impetus, his brother in arms. You can see just how tall he is in comparison. Here's Fraudo. I don't have any Zeta or Unique toys Blastoffs compared, so I apologize. I know a lot of people. I get one person, I think it's Jason Chastain, who always says I have a really really crappy job at comparisons. Most of the times it's because I don't have that many figures. I'm not the type that keeps multiple versions of multiple figures in my collection. I just don't have that much space where I'm going to have like 3 Blastoffs or something like that. So I don't have any other Blastoffs. Like this is really it. And here's Onslaught. He's the only one that I think has. This is out of all of the robots that have come out so far, his robot mode is the only mode that I think is weak. And weak in the sense that it just looks off, right? It just looks too big. Some of the proportions are off. But again, to be fair, he has to do a lot. But that's out of 3 modes for 4 figures so far. So I think 1 out of 12 not being very good is a okay compromise. Who else do I have in terms of comparison? So I'll bring out a Seeker. I think that is a logical comparison. And he's almost head to head with a Seeker. He's just a tad bit shorter than a Seeker. Oh, sorry about that. Knocking my... All right, so let me go back. Kato's Collection. Fraudo is my purchase of the year. He's definitely in probably my top 5. I love Fraudo. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on these questions now. Darth Coconut. No, I don't have any figures to compare it to. Hey, Alan, how's it going? Alan, this is the same sample from TFCon DC. Pack asked, does he have any diecast? Sorry, I know I always forget to mention diecast. No, he doesn't have any diecast from what I can tell. He feels pretty hefty. Definitely heavier than a Seeker. Let me get my scale out real quick so you guys can get that answer. But he's not. Ocular Max typically, and I say typically, doesn't have diecast. But if you felt their Springer, that guy is super hefty. So he definitely has a ton of diecast. This guy, on the other hand, doesn't. He's about 9.6 ounces. And honestly, I think it makes sense not to have a ton of diecast, especially on an arm. Like on a leg of a combiner, I think it would make a little bit more sense. But on an arm and a combiner, especially masterpiece scale, I think that's a little weird. All right, let's see. Who else do we have? Let's see. Pax says, at Kato, I saw you. Okay. Let's see. Any visible stress marks or anything that you can think we should be careful with? So this one has really tight tolerances. It's usually like they have looseness, right? But you know this piece here that I almost killed myself on, this snapping joint, I'm sure they're going to have to loosen that up a little bit. As far as any other stress areas, this tab here that goes into the shuttle mode here on both sides, those are really tight. So I'm sure they're going to fix those up. So it's really hard to say on a sample where you think the issues are going to be. But as far as stressing goes, I don't have anywhere that I think he'll be a big stress factor on. I'm trying to think. No, not really. I don't. There's not a lot. As you saw, the transformation is pretty ingenious and pretty straightforward. Aside from this joint, this snapping joint, none of the other pieces seem like they'll be cause for concern. All right, let's see. All right. Uh, Devin Anderson. Yeah, I think the crew does look good together. So compare him next to a real space shuttle. Yeah, I'm getting. I guess my live streams are just a place where everyone wants to just make the most absurd jokes or actual requests. Yeah, diecast can be overrated. It really depends, though. All right. So I'm just catching up on these. MP Storm. Some Storm is very expensive. Really? When am I getting Probus? Is what Darth Coconut asked. The answer is I don't know. People seem to think that I just have magic connections, and while I do work for Ocular Max and MMC as far as doing their video manuals, they really give me like no heads up at all. The times when I get to show you guys off stuff is just when like Toy Dojo happens to get a sample for them, or it is directly after a show that I was helping them out with, and they had samples on display there. So I don't really have any heads up. Let's see. Yeah, T-Man, I don't know that I believe that. Do these scale with X-Transbot Stunticons in your opinion? I don't remember what the Stunticons are, or what their proposed height is going to be. So, most likely, so I think Onslaught's coming very early in the new year, and then this guy and Probus Brawl, they'll be coming out after Chinese New Year, most likely. No, so the question from Katos was asking if the head joint feels like more fragile. No, the only reason that Impetus's head felt weird is because they had it on a double-sided ball joint, and the lower joint was just not that well toleranced, as you can see, and that itself was on a hinge too. So you're working with like 4 different articulation points and just trying to get it around 360 on a ball joint is really hard. Like, I don't know why they didn't just make this a swivel here instead of a ball joint. Like, I think that would have made way more sense. Would have been less frustrating. Man, I still love how Impetus looks though. I think he's still my favorite. Oh well, no, I love Fraudo too. One of those two is my favorite so far. Do you think they'll do a G2 or Ruination? Pack, I don't know if you're familiar with MMC and Ocular Max, but they're kind of known for doing a lot of recolors. So if I were a betting man and I'm Asian, so I like to gamble, I would definitely bet on yes. You're going to get as many recolors as you want and probably some that you don't. Yeah, Kato's, I just removed her transformation as well. BBO3 says, for the hands and legs, does it restrict that ankle rocker you displayed earlier? For the hands and the legs? I don't know what the hands and... Oh, no, no, it's the hinge is up here, so it's above the actual fist itself. Here. Oh, you have to make sure to pull this up before you use this joint, though. And like I said, this is super tightly toleranced, so you can hear the snapping. It uses a really beefy... I don't even know what these kinds of tabs are, but it's kind of like a round going into two. It's like a sandwich peg. I'm hungry. Oh, see? So yeah, this sample definitely needs to be toleranced just a little bit better as to not murder somebody's fingers while they're transforming on live stream. All right, so let's see. X-Transbot Stunticons are... No, I think Engineer Hoist, I think he was asking about combined mode. This right now is mostly colored plastic, but again, I can't really say what is going to be painted or not because this is a sample. I mean, these parts are painted, these parts are painted. So a good amount of paint, like all this stuff is painted, but it's hard to tell what's going to be paint, what's going to be plastic. Like this is all painted. So I guess it's kind of like 50-50, right? 50% right now, I would say. Somewhere around the neighborhood is painted because most of it's brown plastic and all this purple here, purple, this gray, dark gray, that's all painted. But then there's some pieces like this, which are molded in that darker, almost like a blue color, dark purple, dark blue, really navy color. The toes are molded in purple plastic, but it has a decent amount of paint on it. I would say about 50%. All right, let's see. Dark Coconut asks, "How do you personally feel about this set so far? Worth keeping in your collection?" I really love it. AK, who I did a live stream interview with, or live stream where he came on, he's probably, if not my favorite, in my top two favorite designers. And I think the engineering in itself, I love transformers that I can transform and I have fun transforming. These are both intuitive and fun, and I think really well engineered. So this is kind of the trifecta for me. I'm willing to give up a little bit of accuracy to have a more fun figure. So these guys are definitely going to remain in my collection, even if I weren't, getting these as part of the work I do for. Do you get to keep this? No, I do not get to keep this, unfortunately. I have had it since October though, TFCon DC. But really, I need to send it whenever they tell me to send it somewhere else. Most likely, it'll go to Toy Dojo and it'll end up in their kind of display collection at their shop in Austin, Texas. I don't know why this tab won't tab in, or keeps tabbing in and coming out. But yeah, I almost never. So I answered this comment to somebody else earlier today. I almost never get free stuff. The most free stuff I get is the work I do for Ocular Max, and as payment for me doing all their video manuals, they give me the figures for free. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to be able to keep all this stuff, but again, I'm gonna get the final retail version anyway, so I don't really need to keep the sample. It is kind of cool. Yeah, Toy Dojo shop's really a nice small shop. They do a lot of shows in the area. They were just at IkiCon this weekend, and they had like a voice actor. I don't know if you guys watch My Hero Academia, but they had the voice actor of Dobby's voice actor at their booth doing signatures and stuff like that. So, like I said, I want to keep this a little bit shorter than I normally do. I usually try to keep it to an hour. Today, I'm probably going to shut it off in probably the next 3 or so minutes. For personal reasons. But if you guys have any other questions, or if you want to see something else, I can try to do some other comparisons. Oh, one that I always try to do is with Prime, because it makes sense to have one with Prime. And I think this scales pretty well. But if you guys enjoy these live streams, I mean, as much as I do, I'll keep doing them. Again, I prefer to do them, but I think 9 out of 10 times I do a live stream and I end up doing a full review anyway. So it's like double the work, more than that because editing and so forth. And it really, it's kind of a motivation killer to do the same review twice. So I hope YouTube does a better job at making live stream a little bit easier, higher resolution, and give us a little bit more control, because I would rather do this with you guys all the time. Thanks for hanging out, Pack. All right, BBO3, thanks. So if you guys like the review, please give it a thumbs up. I see 26 of you already did. I really do appreciate that. Go ahead and share this around. I'm like the worst at social media. I very rarely even give you guys a heads up when live streams are coming out. I post it on Facebook and maybe tweet it out. But I'm terrible at it. So if you guys have somebody that you think would enjoy the live streams or the reviews, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Oh, thank you. Wow, 12 thumbs up just from requesting it. More than that? Okay, awesome. So I need to... You don't do social media? All right. Yeah, I'm pretty awful. Let's see. Since I just have them here, let's go ahead. I think some people might be interested in this comparison. So this is totally not having to do with Onslaught. But some people are very interested in the leader sizes of certain combiner teams from the various companies. So one thing I will do is, just because I have them here, so this is X Transbot's Motor Master Gravestone. I did a live stream with 598, my other favorite designer. Oh, sorry. So they are all basically almost head to head, I would say. I would say that the Onslaught is maybe a millimeter or two taller than Gravestone, and then maybe less than a centimeter taller than Fans Toys Silverbolt, whatever their name for him is. Silver Arrow? No, that was Zeta. But I think by and large, if we're talking about masterpiece combiners, we're all going to kind of have lead. They're all the companies seem to have this kind of scale or height for their main bot, the leader of their teams, which is considerably taller than Optimus, which does hurt me a bit in the scale gonads, but I think it's just going to be how it is. So if you guys are worried about having these guys and having one guy be so much bigger, he's actually not, substantially bigger than any of the other leaders that I have currently right now from X Transbots and Fans Toys. I don't have Road King with me right now, and I don't remember how tall he is in comparison. All right. Bruman, thanks for joining. Ernie, thanks for joining. Yeah, Darth Coconut. I'm awful at them. The best way is, if you want to keep up to date, is if I schedule them and if you are subscribed and click the notification bell, it will let you know when I have an upcoming stream. But that's about it. I'm quite awful. I don't even like post it on like TFW anymore. Oh man, I just scratched my surface. Time to get a new one. Anyway, so I appreciate all you guys joining, all 100 plus of you at one point. If you guys really do like it, again, please give it a share. Let other people know. I would love to keep doing these, again, with the help of Toy Dojo, Ocular Max, MMC, X Transbots, all the ones that let me do these early previews. I really, really appreciate it, because I think you guys really appreciate it as well. And it's kind of a bummer that less and less companies are sending out stuff early for reviewers to, provide their 2 cents ahead of retail release. But that's it. So R9 Core Noki, thank you. Andrew Schatz, thanks again. Hope you guys had a great holiday and Happy New Year. Thanks a lot, all everyone. Have a good one.